Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from southeastern New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Friday, January the 9th, 2026, and this is episode 132. Welcome. This is my podcast where I share my knitting adventures with you and crocheting and spinning, lots of fibery things. So if that's your kind of jam, then maybe this is a podcast for you. For all my returning viewers, welcome back. And to any new viewers, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. I always put show notes in the description box below. There's a more section. I was always saying it was a drop down arrow, but I realized yesterday on my tablet there you click the more button and it will drop down and show you all the show notes. So whether it's a drop down arrow or a more button, I always put detailed show notes down below this video as to where you can find the designers that I talk about. So yeah, you can find me most active on Instagram as Inspired Knitting Podcast, and you can also find me over on Ravelry as X Country Girl 1986X. So yeah, I know that it's only been a week since I last podcasted, but I had a few things that I finished and wanted to share with you today. So I don't know if I'm going to keep up doing an episode weekly. Maybe that will be a new thing to do for 2026. We'll see how that goes, depending on what I feel like I'm accomplishing. I feel that the start of this new year, I've been accomplishing quite a bit. So I kind of felt like it was a good time to podcast. So yeah. A bonus episode, perhaps. I'm not going to guarantee that there's going to be an episode every week, but we'll just see how it goes. So yeah, I have a couple finished objects to share with you today, and I don't really have any works in progress. I think I just have one to share and a dream knit that is going to be coming up relatively soon. So yeah, grab your beverage of choice. I currently do not have anything with me. I should have brought another coffee, but I did not. But I hope you have something cozy to drink. I hope you have your knitting or your crocheting with you, and let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that I have to share with you is a pair of socks that I recently finished, and it is my I'm Just Here for the Roast Beast colorway by Area 51 Fibers. So this is on her Fancy Smancy DK base, and I did get the contrast color in her DK as well. So this beautiful red is called Mary Berry, and I did 12 rows of a 2x2 rib. I did my slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset in that as well, and then the rest is in her self striping, and it's just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I still have some leftovers to put into a blanket, or I'm kind of just saving up my scraps of DK right now, maybe perhaps to make some scrappy socks. I don't know really what I want to do with them just yet, but I'm putting them aside in a separate bag, and maybe there'll be scrappy socks in my future. I don't know yet. But I really love these. So these are my last Christmas socks of the year, but they turned out so beautiful. I absolutely love them. And I forgot I needed to add this as grams out of my stash. So something that I am doing this year also is I'm going to attempt again. I tried it once before and I ended it halfway through the year, but I'm going to try to track my grams in and my grams out. So far I've been tracking that. So I forgot to put this pair of socks in, but I have to do that after I podcast. But yeah, those were a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that colorway, and yeah, I followed the DK, I think it's called the DK Weight Vanilla Socks by Crazysockladydesigns, and I did the medium size. There's 3 sizes: adult small, adult medium, and adult large. I did the medium size in that pattern, so I will link that in the description box below. I do believe it is a free pattern. So yeah. Okay, the next thing that I finished was my Musselburgh. I shared this on the last episode. I was into the decreases while I officially have finished it. And I'm deciding to keep it where you can see the blue because the blue is my absolute favorite. But if we were to turn this hat inside out, that's what it would look like. Very beautiful hat. I will put it on quickly. I really love the Musselburgh. It is one of my most favorite hats ever. It is double thick. It is by Ysolda Teague, and it is a paid for pattern, and it is totally worth it. You measure your gauge, so you start off with a certain amount of stitches at the top, and you increase out, and then you would measure your gauge, and then she has a list of numbers for you to follow for your gauge as to how much to increase per segment, and then you just plain stockinette stitch forever, it seems almost, but it's lovely. And then you come to the length that you need for your size, and then you decrease, and you have this double thick hat that I think I'm wearing myself out talking about it because I think everybody knows what the Musselburgh is, but it's just the most loveliest hat ever. Now, you can fold it if you wish to, but that is pretty much up to you. You then have 4 layers on your ears. I prefer just to wear it a little bit on the slouchy side like that. Oh, it's perfect. The yarn that I used for this is Gobsmacked Yarns. And it is on her Tough Yak fingering, 80% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon, and it is 100 grams, 438 yards. Batten Down the Hatches was the colorway. Absolutely love this hat. It is going to be worn a lot. I have another one in blue that I wear a lot, but this is going to be my new favorite for a while. I love it. So this is my Musselburgh. Absolutely love it. Definitely you will be seeing another one on my needle soon. That is what I will be talking about in a few moments. But there is that. And then I showed this on my last podcast as well. This is the 4th hat by Ysolda Teague. So it is, like I said on the last episode, it is very much similar to the Musselburgh. You cast on a small amount of stitches, and then you measure out your gauge to do your increases, like per your gauge. So this is not the same hat that you guys saw. It is the same yarn, but it is not the same hat. I apparently did not think the hat through correctly. Like I didn't look at the right set of numbers. So I got 8 stitches per inch. The pattern only goes up to 7 stitches per inch, which is fine. I figured that part out. But this is for a commission. A fellow vendor at my market wanted a skull cap, and we measured out her head circumference, which was 22 inches, and we measured the current hat she was wearing, which was 8 inches. I got the 8-inch part right. I finished the whole hat off and I bound it off, and I'm like, this hat is like super big. It was super big for my head, and I got a big noggin, and I ripped it all back out. I frogged it, and I started anew, and it turned out that I read the wrong set of numbers for my increases. Yeah, that's okay. So I frogged the whole hat and reknit it again, but it didn't take me long at all. It took me a day, so I'm not going to complain about that. So the great thing about the 4th hat is that I was able to start at the top, and then I knew that I needed 7 inches from the top to here, and that left me an inch to go for my ribbing. So it was perfect because she didn't want the hat to be super long. She wanted it to be 8 inches. So starting from the top, I was really able to gauge that very well. So it turned out very nice. Again, I don't know what the yarn is. It was a yarn that was in my stash, and all I can tell you is that it is wool. I know that, but I don't know what the yarn is. It could be Barocco, could be Cascade. It could be something different. I really don't know. But it is beautiful, and I hope she likes it. She wanted a dark green or a black, and I had the dark green, so yeah. So this is the 4th hat, it's called, by Ysolda Teague. I will have that linked in the description box below. I would love to make another one of these. I have a gradient skein that I got from Merit at Gobsmacked, and it is not a full skein. I think it's only like 70 or 75 grams. So I would love to knit the 4th hat in that and just keep going until I fulfill the gradient, and I think that'll work out beautifully. So there we go. The other thing that I have to share with you, I'm going to just jump around quickly, is actually crocheted. And normally I don't share my crocheted toys on the podcast because I do a lot of the same type of toys. So I think it would become a little bit, I don't know. I don't know if you guys would want to see that. So I don't typically tend to show it. But I've created this little gaffer here, and I had to show it because it is so cute. It is a new pattern that I acquired from All by Jade. That is her name. You can find her on amigurumi.com as well as Etsy under All by Jade. I will have it linked below. I'll put her Etsy below, I think. But this is her whale pattern. And just some of the details I love about it. I love the tail. I just think it's very detailed. I do have another whale pattern that I use, and it looks pretty much the same, except this tail is just like so detailed to me. It just makes me so happy. And then this is Mama. So the way you crochet it, she has a little pouch, and inside the pouch are little babies. And the babies are included, of course, in the pattern. And she has 2 of them in there. So she will fit 2. And the cool thing is, and there's her little pouch. She ended up putting pictures like what other testers or other people did. And you can see their color combinations that they did. And one was turquoise, Mom was turquoise, one of the babies was turquoise, and then the other baby was yellow. And I think that just is so inspiring to see what other people have done and how you can play with color. And I think that's one of my favorite things, is just playing with color. But I had to share this one with you, so I will have this linked below as well as to where you can find it. And yeah, I just really wanted to share this one with you guys. I was so happy about it. I just used a Bernat, I think it's called Value or Super Value acrylic. You can crochet this. She does have different size yarns that you can use. So you can use the blanket yarn, I believe it's called, like the big thick stuff. She has that version. She has chunky weight yarn or worsted weight yarn. It's whatever you wish to use. You're just going to have a different size whale. That's all. I prefer to use the worsted weight yarn. I feel most comfortable with it. And if you're curious, for my gauge, I use a 3.75 millimeter hook. I don't know what letter that is. I don't pay attention to it. I just know it's a 3.75 mil. So yeah, there's my whale. And the big sparkly eyes, glitter eyes, I just got those off of Amazon. So yeah, I think they're 15 mil eye. 12 to 15. I can't remember which pack I got, but you can get them off of Amazon fairly cheap. So yeah, there's my whale. Okay, so I have one final thing to share with you. This one is a hoe, and this will go over into works in progress. So here is my, and it's not on there correctly, one second, OCD's kicking in. Here is my first sock. It's still not on there, right? But that's okay. Here is my first sock. This is Drops Fiesta. And I would like to send out a shout out to Nancy. Hi, Nancy. If you're watching, thank you very much for correcting me. I said on the last episode, and probably the episode before that, that Drops Fiesta was a fingering weight yarn. It is not. And I don't know why I didn't clue into that either. I was calling it like a very plump fingering. And I'm not sure why I was doing that for, because it definitely is not fingering, and I should have clued into that. I had these casted on, and I think I was to here on the last episode. Well, I ripped it all back out because I was knitting them on a 2mm, and I thought that was really hard on my hands, and I couldn't understand why. Now I understand why. So I ripped the whole thing back out and cast it on with my DK weight size needle that I always use. And yeah, it turned out the way it should have turned out. So I am following Crazysocklady's DK vanilla sock again. And I did 15 rounds of a 2x2 rib, 30 rounds for the leg, slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. And then I just did the foot and the toe. So it is DK weight, guys. It is not fingering. It doesn't say that on the tag, and that's... I don't know why I presumed it was fingering. So thank you very much, Nancy, for helping me out there. It is 75% wool, 25% polyamide. And it is in the color number 20, which Ravelry calls it Northern Lights. So yeah, there is that. So going over into works in progress, this is pretty much the only sock that I'm currently working on. I haven't been working on my full moon fiber ones recently because I've been making some toys for the market, so I've been concentrating on that a little bit more. But I knew I wanted to get my DK weight socks done, so I finished off the Area 51 fibers, and then now I'm concentrating on getting these ones done. So I casted this on this morning, and I've gotten through my cuff and my leg, so now I can go into my gusset. So there we go. And I always cake mine up just to make sure that everything is kosher as I'm knitting it, because I hate getting knots. I hate getting tangles and stuff like that. So, and besides, I prefer to work from a cake. So that is the second sock. So we'll see how far I get on it today. I do plan to knit on that today, so we'll see how far I get on it. Okay, so that's it for works in progress. As I said, I have been working on toys, but I'm not going to bother sharing them with you. I was going to make another whale, but it's already Friday, market's tomorrow morning, so I think I'm just going to concentrate on my sock and enjoy my sock knitting. But I did want to bring my next cast on along. I really want to cast this on today, but we'll see how it goes. I don't want to overload myself too much here. This is Lichen and Lace. It's on her 80-20 sock, 80% machine washable organic merino, 20% recycled nylon, 100 grams, 365 yards in the Citron colorway. Oops. And here is the yarn. It's just this very bright green. And I don't know. Okay, you guys should see some pops of orange in there too. There's some orange that's that pops in and out. So this is going to be a Musselburgh. Not for me. I am not brave enough to wear this kind of color. But a neighbor of ours, he drives big trucks, and they're all, the company's colors are kind of this green. So I'm going to knit him a Musselburgh. I think he works outside all the time in the cold, so I think he would really enjoy a double thick hat. I don't know if he would enjoy wearing this color on his head, but I'm going to knit it for him anyway, and we'll see what happens. But that's going to be my next cast on. So I kind of want to cast that on today, but like I said, we'll kind of see what happens. But I really enjoy the Musselburgh, so it's a good project to have. Okay. So doing the grams in and grams out is, as I said earlier, has been really nice. I've accomplished quite a few things this since the start of the new year, toy-wise. So it's really great for getting grams out of my stash. So I'm not counting how many skeins I have. That would be a huge undertaking. You can see my mess here. These baskets are all full. These bins here are all full. That would be a huge undertaking, and I don't want to do that. Plus, I'm also counting my grams for acrylic as well. So the toys are all done in acrylic, so I'm counting that as grams out of my stash. And if I had to count my hand-dyed yarn, I would have to count my acrylic, and that would be... no, I can't do that. I got so much of it. So we're not going to do that part. We're just going to track grams in and grams out. So this year I'm not doing too bad with the grams out. I had 640 grams come into my stash, and that is this lovely bag here. I'm not going to share it all with you guys, don't worry. From Galt House of Yarn. I ordered some more yarn, and I just wanted to share a couple of them with you because I was so happy. I got the Koigu KPPPM 100% merino wool. Now, I have used the Koigu in the past for socks. It does not have nylon in it, but it is a higher twist. And I've heard several people tell me before that their Koigu socks actually, they last them a while. So I had knit them before, and they actually do. I haven't gotten no holes in my Koigu socks yet. So I decided to buy some more. There was a couple new colorways. And this one I purely just bought because of the colorway name. It is called Car Show. I just had to buy this one. It was just so perfect. I love car shows. So, and it is very beautiful. So I got that one. And then this one is Holiday Market. Also very beautiful. This one, I don't think I'm going to wait till Christmas next year to knit. I think I'll knit it up now. They're 50 gram skeins, so I do buy 2 of them. And, because 50 grams, 175 yards. So I always buy 2, 1 skein per sock. And then I've never tried this yarn before, but when I saw the colorway, I just had to. This is Comfy Cozy Knits. Whoops, 1 second. I almost dropped it. And it is Wheel of Color. Self-striping merino sock yarn, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 420 yards. How beautiful is that going to be? Oh, it's stunning. I love it. I love my bright colors. And then to go with it, I don't know if I'm going to use this as a contrast or not, but or maybe put it in my blanket. I'm not sure yet. But it is also Comfy Cozy Knits. And the colorway is called Bittersweet. So yeah, what do you guys think? Should I use that as a contrast for cuffs, heels, or heels and toes? What do you guys think? It is pretty bright. I don't know yet. I don't know. So that was a couple of things that I got. That brought 640 grams of yarn into my stash. I haven't calculated my grams out yet, so I'm not sure how well I'm doing on that, but we'll see. I'm not even sure that I did. I calculated the grams out for my hat, but my hat, I believe, was 100 grams out. And I still have 5 grams left of the yarn, so that skein was a little bit heavy because it was only 100 gram skein and it was 105 altogether. So that's a bonus. But yeah, I do have some more yarn coming, not much. I did a small order with Rose Hill Yarns. I haven't ordered from her in so long. And I also have the Color of the Month Club. I think it's the sock train coming from Lichen and Lace. That should be next week, I believe. So I'm going to try my hardest to knit from stash this year, but that's not going to stop me from buying yarn. I'm still going to buy yarn because when I get stressed out, I buy yarn. So if I said no to buying yarn, then that would be very, very bad, and I'm not doing that. So we're just going to track it. Hopefully I have more grams out than I have grams in. So we'll see. So yeah, I don't even remember if I talked about goals on my last episode or not. I don't really have any. I don't really like setting goals because then I don't stick to them. I'm just going to keep knitting on the socks and knitting on whatever it is that I would like to do. And at the end of the year, it'll be fun to tally it all up and see what I do. I have a journal for 2026. It's just a basic journal, and I'm writing in exactly what it is that I'm knitting on. So for like the whale, I put whale, and I put how many grams out it was. And if I have grams come in, then I'll put grams, the amount of grams in. And then at the end of the month, so at the end of January, I'll tally it all up and write down how many projects in total I made and how many grams in and grams out I did. And I'll share that here on the podcast. So yeah, that should be fun. We'll see how long I actually do it for this time. So besides that, I think that is all I have to share with you guys today. I guess it was a relatively short episode, but like I said, I had finished some things and I wanted to share them with you guys. So I thought I would do a short little episode here. So as I said, description box below has all the details of what I talked about today. And I will see you guys maybe in another week, or if not, I will see you in 2 weeks. So until then, happy knitting and take good care. Bye.